are back. And we are back. Alrighty then. Ladies and gentlemen, today is November 19th, 2012. You're tuned into the KNKL live stream, aka the Emma live stream. I am your host, Keenan Lafferty, and I welcome you guys once again to my humble dojo in sunny Southern California. Not so much sunny right now because it is approaching that time of the year, and it is cloudy and rainy and oh so brisk and cold. So I would like to invite you this evening to have a seat with me or have a sit down, have a good talk, because today we are going to be laying out the next 10 pages of the Emma comic. That's right. So I trust that you guys had a good time checking out the last Emma comic, and I'm just playing with this rubber band. So I was just doing my exercises earlier today. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed the last 10 pages, and I'm eager and super excited to begin the next 10 pages. I'm a little bit scared, but we are going to go ahead and do that. So, without further ado, I'm just going to pull up my notes over here, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so today was actually a very good day. Today was a very, very good day. Because I actually took some time to relax and draw up basically, well, these aren't the new pages. These are the old ones. I was actually just using this for for reference. So basically, my pages start off as something like this, but I'm going to try my best to avoid that because those are just chicken scratches. And while they work for me, they may not be the most interesting thing to watch. So I'm going to try my best to not, and the reason why they're like this is because I tried to just lay out 10 pages, right, really quickly. Whereas today, I think we're just going to focus on doing one page, right? So I'll kind of show you my process as how I go about doing that. So, without further ado, let us get started. Okay, so you'll see right here, I've got my awesome Word document that you can see because we are streaming in glorious high quality, and that makes me so super happy. I'm just going to go ahead and read your guys' comments over here for a second, making sure that everything is going according to plan. I'm just hoping that the audio is still playing. Make sure that if you guys hear any like weird things going on, again, we are using new software. No more Minicam, no more watermark here. There's still one there, but not one down here anymore. So that's good. That's good. That makes us very happy. Some people are asking some interesting questions. Rain Blue is asking me to say, I want a slippery butt. I don't know what that means, but that's very scary. Slippery butts are usually not a good thing to have. Usually something's going on there. Alrighty then. Stream is good. Quality's good. Sound is good. Let's get started. No more beating around the bush. No more beating around the bush. I don't like that. Alright guys, so we are basically going to be laying out, basically drawing thumbnails, free drawing if you will, our next few panels, right? I'm going to go ahead and close this down because that's working properly. I'll just check bitrate. Everything's going good. Alright, so what we're going to be doing here today is just going to be drawing up some pages here, paginas, if you will. Let's go ahead and just draw that up. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's go ahead and make 3 of these. And we will begin by basically, let's go ahead and set these down here, and let's just kind of explore some panel placements, right? Panel placements. So it looks like the first thing we've got happening is, for those of you who read the last 10 pages, you'll notice that Emma did wake up from some sort of dream sequence, right? And she was in her bed of sorts. So the important thing that we wanted to do, right, for panel 1 is we were going to have her, let's say, we're going to have her basically waking up, right? So the way that I saw this happening, and again, we're just sketching stuff in, right, which is getting general ideas. So let's say we had like this hammock thing, because I honestly saw it as like a thing that was kind of nailed between two posts inside of this barn, right? She's actually going to be sleeping inside of this barn area type thing. So let's say we got, you know, the blankets kind of draped over here. Maybe she'll be sitting up, you know, like that. Not bad, not bad. And again, these are going to be very, very rough. So if you guys are tuning in today to see amazing artistic talent, you're going to see it in the form of stick figures. And this is how it all starts. This is how it all begins. Okay, so we've got her basically sitting up in her little hammock thingy. That's cute. And let's see. So I'm just going to draw on a few things here, right? I almost think we don't need to have that shot necessarily, but that is the glory of drawing thumbnails. We can go back and we can change things. But let's go ahead and just move on. Let's get things down. Let's get things out of our mind. And onto the paper. You know what I'm happy about? I'm just super happy this stream is in high quality now. I cannot tell you how funny it was, like, not having good quality. Learning things. Learning very quickly, actually. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to have an establishing shot of this barn, right? So it's almost going to be like the perspective's going back like this. We've got posts coming up like this. Ah, yeah. And then over here we'll have those posts. Emma's hammock will be right here. She'll be kind of looking out over the side here. It's cool. We'll have like some supplies or some stuff down here. This will either be the back wall or the back door area. Okay, okay. Let's go ahead and shade that in really quickly. And I think a big thing that I wanted to be happening here was there's almost like this little like shaft of light, right, that's coming down like through a hole in the ceiling, right? I kind of want it to be shining down on her face. This is kind of like how she knows what time of day it is without actually having to venture down and like open the barn door or risk letting zombies in, right? And yes. Oh, some of you guys are saying that the zombie guy in the dream. That's actually the most common piece of feedback I've gotten, is that people really liked the look of the zombie guy. They said he was legitimately scary. And that's good, because I really wanted him to be that. I wanted him to be very, very scary. Almost like the zombies appear as like kind of shapes and, you know, not really that creepy looking until you get really close to them. Then you see all the scary detail and their crazy black eyes and red pupils, you know, all that good stuff. Okay, so she's kind of like in the side here. She eventually lets a ladder down, or not a ladder, a ladder down. So maybe we'll just like have the ladder hanging off the edge in this sort of fashion, right? Good. Good, 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 good. And the one thing that I noticed about this hammock is that if she's actually sitting in it, it's probably going to have to be moved over a tiny bit. Because for those of you who have sat in hammocks, they're actually a little bit crazier. They're a little bit harder to get situated in than you might think. I'm going to move that thing over there, put the pillow there, sitting up. Hammock's kind of like hanging like that. That's good. And then right here will be her boots, because Emma has boots. Really, really cool boots. Ah, yes. Man, my neck is just like totally out of whack. Oh, man, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, by the way, please tell me if the Ustream logo is covering up my face, because I don't want to be a talking Ustream watermark. Please tell me. Páginas. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I do not speak it as well as I should. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so we've got the establishing shot of the barn, right? Moving on. So let's say the next shot is of her kind of like turned and kind of sitting up in bed, right? So she'll kind of be sitting up here, right? And the light will be kind of like on her face, right? So she'll be kind of like looking up at it. Oh. I should just make the comic this style, man. This would be so much easier. You gotta have 10 pages done in no time. Maybe we'll like have her, yeah, just kind of like sitting up with the blanket still, kind of like hanging up like that. Not a big fan of like box panels, but not a huge fan of box panels, but whatever. So we'll have her kind of sitting up, looking at the light. And she'll probably be saying something here like, oh, time to get ready for the day, or whatever. Whatever she's going to say, right? And again, remember, those of you who may have just tuned in, we are going to be, wait, what's going on here? For those of you who may just have tuned in, we are going to be working on the layouts simply for the next 10 pages. And because of that, you can expect to see the height of my artistic skills in this show. Okay, so moving on. Next panel is going to be, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to have a panel like this, where you do this thing. It's like panel here, panel here, panel here. Yeah, that's cool. So we'll have, like, I want to have 2 panels here of two panels here of Emma. 2 panels here of Emma. She's going to be talking, like, maybe her hair is, like, all messed up or something, so she fixes her hair, and, like, maybe her dress is, like, I don't know, it's, like, messed up. She kind of, like, fixes the little strap on her shoulder or whatever, so she'll reach over and kind of, like, pull it up, fix it. You know, being cute. There we go. Look at that face. Isn't that darling? Look at that darling face. I'll actually zoom in a little bit more so you guys can actually see it. Cool. Now let's go ahead and we'll draw a picture of putting on the boots, because the boots are a very cool and integral part of her. Having these awesome boots. And then her leg will just be kind of like going up like this. Her hands kind of reaching down, putting these babies on here. Her dress will probably be overlapping like that. Maybe this other foot can be like out of the other boot. Not quite in it yet. Just experimenting with ideas. Oh yeah. Crack in the neck. Crack in the neck. Release the kraken. Wait, is there supposed to be a watermark? Yeah, there's supposed to be a watermark on Ustream. Yes? Get that crap out of here. If there's not, then alright. Alright, whatever. If there's no watermark, I'm okay. Yes. Some people asking, how old is Emma meant to be? That question may never be answered. She's meant to be a young girl, but actually I don't really know exactly. Probably just like within the... I don't even know. She's how old you want her to be. Let's just say that. Okay, so there we go. That's her putting on her boots. Okay? Now, basically I'm going to take what I liked of this page, and I'm going to go ahead and redraw it. That's right. We are going to draw another thumbnail because I think there's a way that I could do this a little bit better. So, let's see. I actually want to have this first panel. I think something that's missing from this other panel is, let's go ahead and put this head off. We'll have her kind of like sitting up. Well, like we'll actually see her like more from this angle, from the front angle. We'll see like the back of her hammock, you know, kind of connecting to this pole back here, right? And she'll be like kind of woken up, kind of startled, scared. Maybe like clutching her dress like this. She's all scared. Like that. And then her little blanket, stuff like that. Yeah, kind of liking that. That's cute. Right? And then we got the light shining in. We may need to move that down, make that panel a little bit bigger. I'm okay with that. The magic of Photoshop, we can do that. We can do whatever we want. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking that. And then the light coming in there. Okay, have some extra stuff happening back there. But the important thing is we have Emma right here. Oh, breaking the panel. Yes, Eric. I like to break the panel every now and then, but a good friend once taught me that you want to be careful not to break the panel all the time. You want to break the panel when something very, very important is happening, right? Because if you're constantly breaking the panel, then it lessens the impact when you actually do. Like, if you do it too much, then it lessens the impact when you really would have wanted to use it. So, at least in American comics, it's kind of like an American tradition, if you will. So the important thing to do here, and again, since we're just scratching stuff in, let's just go ahead and remember that there's like a light beam coming in here, right? Light beam coming in, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and throw in our establishing shot of the barn once again. Yes, Javin. You do remember. Javin, remember. Javin knows what's going on. Listen to that man. He knows what's going on. Okay, so there and there. I'm liking these. Liking this. I like this layout. This layout's pretty cool. Another thing I like to do a lot is make sure that try not to have too many of the panels where the character is the same size, right? Like if you have a bunch of panels on a page where the character's head is the same size, it starts to look kind of, you know, boring, monotonous, all that stuff. So I'll probably have this panel up here be the main one, right? Because they say, you know, you give characters face time that are very, very important. You know, if it's not an important character, you don't want to be showing their face. You don't want to be showing their face. Get that ugly face out of here. Let's see. Oh, nice. You're doing a pretty good job. We're 20 minutes into this, and I'm really, really liking this. Okay, so another idea that I had for the establishing shot of the barn is I want to be able to show the depth of it, like what's happening, and I don't feel like this one over here does it enough. I like the fact that it shows the, you know, the downward part of it, or like what's below. But I almost want to show more of the roof back here, you know? Like say the vanishing point is back here. So let's have the roof kind of coming down like this. Let's have the posts here. Emma's hammock is right here, just kind of looking up, and we'll see the light coming in like that, right? Let's go ahead and just draw in these lines really quickly so we can remember. Remember who you are, Simba. Remember. All right, so. And again, these are very, very chicken scratchy, but that is okay. Artists should never be afraid to make chicken scratches. Chicken scratches. Okay, so we got that going on. That's looking good. It's looking very good. Ladder there, that there. But then we're showing all this over here. Like this is unimportant. It's way too symmetrical. I do not like that. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's get rid of this over here. Maybe just enough so that we can see it's symmetrical, but we don't need to like perfectly have the middle of the barn in that shot, right? So let's just move this over a tiny bit. Also, another big rule that I like to follow a lot is the rule of thirds. Hey, bet you never heard that one before. Basically, each panel, I like to think of where's the third point. It's like here and here, right? So important things, important characters, and just basically all the time, I like to try to align the characters with part of those frames because it makes it look more artistic and stuff like that. So again, just drawing in things, seeing how these layouts affect our panels. And then once you have choice, it's so much easier to figure out what you want to do. As opposed to doing it once and be like, oh, that's the other good thing about doing it rough, you know? It's like if you draw the panel very roughly, then you're not super attached to it. So if you're like, I'm going to try something else, it's like, all right, whatever, let's give it a shot. So we got Emma right here, hammock there, ladder here, and maybe her axe is like, I don't know, over here or something, right? Cool. That's pretty easy to remember. I hope you guys can see that. Let's zoom in. Oh. Yes. Callie in CS is asking a very good question. He's asking, how long did it take you to come up with the storyline for Emma and write the script? It is actually ongoing. Me and two friends of mine by the name of Jake Spino and David Ellison, two of my very good buddies, are actually helping me develop the story. I had the general idea for it years ago, right? And it was basically just going to be like a little girl versus a Walking Dead, right? And that was basically it. But over the last few weeks, I've been working with them, and we've come up with some really awesome ways to make the story our own. So we've been working probably over the last couple months, just coming up with what's going to be going on in the next few issues, right? We know the general ideas, but the other really cool thing about this is my mentality behind doing this comic was, okay, it's going to be, I kind of want to throw the things out the window of like wanting everything to be perfect, right? It's like, look, I'm just going to make this comic, and if I make mistakes, basically I'm setting out to learn a lot about this, right? It's like I'm going to do the best I can, but I understand that I may do things wrong. I may make terrible mistakes, right? But all the experience that I gain from this is going to help me when I release another comic, right? Because I do have other ideas for comics. And I think that's just a good mentality to have on life in general. It's just, some people wait around for the perfect circumstance, or when they're perfectly confident that they can succeed or do something, which is understandable. But I think another big thing about it is just sometimes you just got to do it, be willing to make stupid mistakes, be willing to not look smart, because, once you make those mistakes, you basically have learned a lot and you won't make them again, you just get that much closer to doing it right. I firmly believe that the best way to do something is just, or to learn how to do something is just do it, and don't be afraid of making silly mistakes. I use that excuse a lot when I'm playing LOL and I'm trying like some really, really dumb build on Warwick. And my whole team is just like, dude, what are you doing? I'm just like, I'm trying something new. And yeah, I think that's really fun. Okay, so she's really, really tired here, right? She's just like that, right? Sitting up. And maybe she'll like be turned to the side here so that the hammock's this way now, right? And we'll see the back wall like that. She'll be sitting up, right? Dress is on like that. And then she'll kind of glance over, fix her hair, fix her dress, whatever. Same panel. I'm okay with these panels being the same because it shows an action that's happening, right? Like she's fixing her dress or fixing the hair. Those are okay to be kind of mirrors, or not mirror images, but same images, right? Just reaching over, fixing the dress. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. I seriously should just make the comic like this. Talk about quality. What are you talking about? All my passion is going into these. This is honestly the hardest part too. I really want to stress that. The hardest part is literally just coming up with the page layouts. And then after that, it's just refinement. This is the creative part. This is when you're basically exercising your mind the most. After that, it's just making it look pretty, right? Basically, this is the comic, and then it's just all the bells and whistles added to it. So. Oh, what are you guys talking about over here? Oh, somebody asked if I got the Wii U. No, I did not get the Wii U, but my friends did yesterday, and we need to go over there and play some of those games. I don't play a lot on consoles anymore. The last game that I played on console was actually Call of Duty Black Ops, and now that Black Ops 2 is out, I need to go check that out at my friend. That's actually David Ellison, the other guy that's helping me develop the story for this. He's my good buddy, and he plays Black Ops. And I got into that a lot because it reminded me of the good old days playing Counter-Strike 1.6. So let's see here. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are taking note of the new quality the new quality changes, and yes, we are all so very, very happy. Especially me, like, honestly. I'm recording this one, and I'm going to be posting it to the new Emma live stream page, or whatever it's going to be. I'm going to make a new channel on YouTube, and I'll be posting it there. And hopefully getting better at live streaming. You'd be surprised, it's actually a little bit different than recording for the show, the KNKL show, you know? Because this is like totally live, and any mistakes I make will totally be seen by everybody. Whereas with the show, I can kind of, like, if it's a really bad mistake or whatever, I can just edit it or redo it, you know? But not this. Whatever goes on here will go down in history forever. So I'm trying to look at this other panel. Just trying to figure out if I actually like this at all. Maybe I should try something different. Yeah. Because I do like the side of the boot. I like the side of the boot, but I think maybe the hands should be maybe grasping the laces, right? Almost like that Dexter thing, you know? He goes like, he's like, looks like he's garroting somebody, but he's just tying his shoes. Something like that. Should be pulling it up the laces like that, tightening it, and then her boot actually comes down like that. Not bad, not bad. Oh, that's awesome. And I like this other, like, sock being out, or like the other foot. I'll have to figure out exactly how to frame that, but I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. That's pretty cute. All right. Oh, Callian, yes. The way that I'm going to be doing the backgrounds right now, the way that I plan on doing it, is I will be painting the backgrounds in black and white and then adding a gradient map on top of it to get started. But the characters I actually paint straight color because there's a lot of subtleties in the skin and clothing that I really like to, you know, capture with color and see it instantly there. But the backgrounds, definitely, it's a lot easier to paint in black and white and then just throw color on top of that. Really like that a lot. Yes. All right, so I'm trying to think. I like both of these. Let's move on to the next page. Let's move on to what's happening next. Do a couple more thummies. Couple more thummies. Let's go ahead and move this. Move this down over here. Move this over here. Great. Great to meet you. Alrighty. Alrighty. Okay, so after she puts on her boots, looks like the next thing we have her doing is setting down the ladder to go down to the front of the barn and dropping her axe on. Basically, she sets down the ladder and then she drops the axe down because it's like kind of big. She doesn't want to like climb down the ladder with the axe. It'd be kind of weird. So I'm just going to have her drop it because that is going to play into something that I'm going to be doing later with basically like the titles. There's going to be like titles like created by Keenan Lafferty. You know, it's going to be kind of like cinematic and cool. You know, kind of like in, I don't know for those of you who've seen Fringe, but they'll put the credits, like they'll put them in the actual background. Like they're kind of like hidden in there that say like, be like written on the side of a crate or something like that. And I wanted to do some cool things like that. So when she like drops her axe, like the dust will go like, you know, just around, and like maybe in the clearing of the dust it'll be like a name or something. I don't know. We'll see. Some sort of subliminal message. Okay. So moving on. So she's up and at him now. Let's have her kind of trying to think. Should she grab the ladder first and put it down, and then grab the axe and drop it? Yeah, I'm thinking I will do that. So I will have her basically, here's the pole here, here's the ladder, right? The ledge here. We'll have basically the back of the barn. This will represent the back area, right? Here's the hammock, here's the other pole. There. Look at how good. Look at how good I am at drawing these backgrounds. Jeez, look at these squiggles. And the great part is I know exactly what I'm drawing, but you guys probably have no idea. To me, I'm just like, oh, this is going to help so much. But you guys are just like, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Like some kind of bus chicken thing? I don't know. Bus chicken. Alright. So let's have her basically kind of, we'll have her kind of like reaching down here. Kind of grabbing the ladder. Hope you guys can see that now. And now she's in front of everything I just drew, but that's okay. Figure that out as we go. This is her arm. She's supposed to be kind of whatever. Anyway, she's reaching down, grabbing the ladder. The large ladder, not a tiny little dinky ladder. Supposed to be a big one. It's supposed to be a big one. Good, good. Now I'll have one of her kind of closer up, kind of looking over the edge here. She's kind of like raising the ladder here, just kind of like next to her. So we can see that she is putting it off the edge there. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Correct painting in color and fixing values in grayscale. Oh yeah, that always helps. That's the way I do some. That's the way I do some of my paintings at Riot. I would have basically a color black, like a black layer over top of everything, and then set the color style or whatever to color, and it'll actually turn everything black and white, and you can check your values to make sure everything's working still. And every now and then I notice that something wasn't working, and I just go back and fix it. Okay, so she'll be kind of like lifting this, kind of like shoving it off the edge there. She's got a mustache there. Cool. Let's go ahead and go ahead and have the ladder coming down like this. Here's the edge here. Ladder's going up like that. Kind of setting it down like that. There we go. Then she'll go back and grab her beloved axe. The icon of Emma. the royal icon. Mm-hmm. Oh, Roman. The layer style thing, I will show you. I don't know if I can show you right now, but I will go into that. Actually, I'm not sure if I already went into that on a daily or on a KNKL show. I'm not sure. If I can't show you today, I will definitely show you tomorrow if you remind me. One thing I forgot to do was actually check and see. One moment. We're going to switch back to this for a moment because I need to check and make sure the stream is still running all right. See how many viewers we have. I don't even know how many people are watching this thing. Oh, man. Whoa! 37. Wow. I'm flattered. 37 people watching me. Okay, now I'm really nervous. I really gotta be on my A game. That's enough of that. Get that out of here. Okay. So we're moving on into back to Photoshop. Oh man. That's good stuff. I don't know for those of you who saw who used to watch Hey Arnold, but there was an episode where my brother and I, we swear that Hey Arnold literally flips off his grandpa. And it's in the one where I think it's the Sewer King or the Rat King. Hey Arnold drops his grandfather's pocket watch down the sewer and they got to retrieve it from this dude that lives in the sewers. And at the very end, Arnold brings back the watch and only to find out that his grandpa has like hundreds of them, you know, just like it in like some drawer or something. So, and after all the trouble that Arnold went through to get it, he's like totally ticked off. And so as he's walking away, he's like, I'm going to go take a hard look at my life. And then Grandpa says, hey, while you're out, can you get a quart of milk? And then we're serious. Arnold literally lifts his hand, flips off his grandpa on the way out the door. It's so funny. So it's on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. It's just super funny. I don't know how that got through Nickelodeon. But might just be ambiguous enough to be another finger, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. Okay, anyway, sorry. Totally sidetracking here. Just trying to figure out exactly how I want her to grab the axe, right? Like, do I want to? No, we did that last time. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have the ladder actually extending down here because I don't want to repeat the same panels as last time where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now I was about to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about to do the same thing. So how about we extend this ladder all the way down, right? Like this. The show's Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold. Check it out. The volume is my voice coming through okay for you guys? Can you guys hear it okay? If not, I can turn up the recording volume a little bit more. Is everything okay? Volume's okay? It's weird. It comes through differently depending on what recording software I'm using. So when I record the daily, a lot of people have been saying it's been kind of like blowing out the speakers because I like to talk really loudly every now and then kind of drop down really quietly, you know. So I'm just trying to make sure I blow out as few eardrums as possible, and I'm hoping people will thank me for that. Okay, if you guys can hear fine, then I'm gonna keep on going. Okay, cool. Perfectly fine. Whoa, Callian. Perfect. Perfect. I'm perfect? No. Oh, you. You're just too nice. Okay, so she's dropped down the ladder here, and we're gonna have this panel here of her reaching back and grabbing the axe. But is there a way to more epically do this? I almost want her to like approach it and be like, oh, it's like this shrine where she keeps her axe. I don't know. Or maybe she just grab it. I don't know. Whatever. For now, we'll just have her grabbing it. Alright. So that is a hand, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hand. And this is an axe. Dang it. That hand is way too big to be holding the giant axe. Okay, I'm going to really have to figure out how to lay this out properly. Axe is there. Her hand is probably like that big compared to it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that panel. I don't really like it. I really do not like it. So what else can we do there? What else can we do? Not sure. Let's leave that one blank for now, and let's move on to the next page, where she drops it off the edge. And then if we need to add in extra panels, we can do that. Because I'm not sure exactly how I want her to approach or grab the axe, have it look cool. But I do know what comes next, so let's just worry about that. Moving on. Let's really try to keep ourselves in the mind state that we are free drawing, right? We are free drawing. We're just getting stuff onto paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can go back and edit it later. The important thing is we just get our thoughts out. Get them out of there. Okay. So we'll have the ladder here, right? Ladder's here. Emma is going to be here, basically dropping the axe like that, because she doesn't want to carry that thing down the. She's lazy. She doesn't want to carry that thing down the ladder. Plus, it's giant. So now the important thing to do here is make sure that the axe looks like it's falling. You know, like she dropped it from her hand. So it might actually be looking something like, I don't know, like this. Probably have to reposition this quite a bit. It just looks like a giant axe, just like, ah, yes, giant axe, giant Astaroth axe. Oh, Callian. Yes. Tips for paneling. Some of the biggest ideas are some of the best ideas that I've come up with, or not ideas that I've come up with, but best tidbits of knowledge that I've hung on to right here is basically a good way to start paneling is really just lay out your panels like this. Like just go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And you'll notice a lot of the Emma comic, or a lot of pages 1 through 10, actually had a very, very close direction to this, right? And I was like, okay, well, since this is an action panel, let's have it like curved like that. And maybe overlapping this one, right? And then you just kind of go back in and you'll edit those things and, you know, kind of like that. In fact, maybe since she's dropping the axe here, maybe we could have this like that. I kind of like that because a little bit of action is happening here. Action for the moment. You know, so you kind of go in and you edit the panels, and again, don't worry about it being perfect or anything. You can do that. So basically, I just kind of set things up like this. And then another thing that I like to do is you'll notice back with pages 1 through 10, if there's a character like concentrating on something or something like really cool is happening, like I don't know exactly how to describe it, but every time there's like that scene where she's out in the flower field, right? The very last shot of it, I actually push the panels to the edge, and it creates a very panoramic type feel, right? creates a panoramic bleed type feel, and it looks very, very cinematic and kind of a little bit more epic and cool. So you just kind of do little changes to each panel, but basically I just start out with a 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, just little brick panels, right? And then you can divide them up however you please. And then a big thing that I really like to do is try your best to vary up the panels slightly with each page. You can use the same panel design, you know, every other page even, but like if you do the same exact, like if it's just 4 brick panels, page to page to page to page, it's gonna get kind of annoying and boring, you know. So you want to vary it up a little bit. Introduce a little anarchy. You know what I mean? So moving on. So we're gonna have the axe hitting the ground right here, right? I wonder if that's going to look weird. She's like dropping it. And, oh, that's going to look weird. Maybe I should have a panel of the axe actually like really close still. You know, like it's still kind of like shaded in. It's like a shape here. Yeah, you'll notice. Just pay attention very closely to the first 10 pages because I was trying out a lot of things and actually had quite a bit of success. And you'll notice there's a lot of just brick paneling, and then I'll just change it very, very slightly, or I'll just vary it up and be like, hey, I'm going to have 3 large panels here. I'm going to have 2 panels and then 1 giant one that kind of like crosses them. But basically, it all starts with just very, very simple brick paneling. And then you can kind of like do ones like up here like this, or you can have like the scene where the zombie's turning his head is like 3 in a row. It's almost like an animation, right? Because you look from left to right, or left to right. You're looking left to right, and you look at it very quickly. It's almost like it's animating, and the head is like looking at you. So it's always good, and it makes us feel nice. Okay, so I'll probably just have this panel because I want this shot to be really cool, and like there's gonna be like dust and stuff flying everywhere, and possibly like putting in like a name here, like that, right? Axe just like hits here, and this dust is just going everywhere, right? And then maybe there will be like a name in here. Lovely. Oh. If she's dropping it like that, then the blade needs to be turned the other way. Let's see, if you picked it up and you dropped it, it would be out like that, so maybe it needs to be, yeah, the axe blade needs to be turned the other way, because you're having repeating patterns, right? So I'd almost want to do this. I'd almost flip it the other way. I'd almost flip the axe this way. That way you're not having these repeating shapes over and over and over again, because you got this, and you got this, and then you have the same shape. So that's another thing you want to do. Make sure that you're varying up the shapes and sizes, the shapes and sizes of your things, right? So have this just be like one big shape. This will almost, I'm almost thinking this could be cool if, okay, I'm going to draw another one of these. I'm going to do a quick experiment here. That's good, Javan. If the scenes almost felt animated, that's really, really good. That's what I'm going for. I want it to be a very cinematic, immersive experience, you know? To the point of, and that's the other thing I've noticed about like webcomics. When you're on this schedule of, especially if you're doing like a funny comic or you're trying to like hook readers and stuff, a common thing that I see with some other webcomics that I don't like is that when people are releasing, you know, every 2 to 3 days, one page, they almost try to have like a punchline or something at the end of each page, and it kind of gets annoying and kind of like, you know, it's just too much. There's no immersion, you know. So I think that's really what I'm trying to go for with this comic, is really trying to release it. I like releasing in 10-page segments because it allows you to enjoy the experience a little bit more. You kind of get more immersed into it, even though it's just, I don't know how long it takes to read 10 pages, maybe just like a couple minutes. But that's better than 5 seconds, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and try something else here. I'm going to try something crazy. I'm going to try having the ladder here. Emma is going to drop the axe right here, right? And then it'll be down here like this, right? So she'll be dropping it. Here's her hand. That looks really funny. So coming down like that. Then we'll have another panel here of it getting really close. Like that, right? And then it's almost like going off the page. Maybe there'll be like a glint on it, like a ching, like that, as it's falling. And then maybe I might want to have one more panel here of it going downward like this. I don't know. Like that. And the last one is with it landing. That looks like Birdo from Mario World 2. You just put that there. And a little. There you go. See, it's Birdo. Boop! Spitting out eggs. But in this case, we are having the axe hit the ground. So it's almost like an animated thing of the axe dropping. Like, and that can be the epic part of it, right? It's almost like the way it's dropping in slow motion. It's like, just like that. That'd be pretty cool. And the ladder kind of like curves down with it or something like that. It's almost like a fisheye perspective. That's going to be kind of hard to do. But I have confidence in myself, and I will do my best to do that. So yeah, let's think about those things. These are the things you like to think about. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. What time we got here? Looks like we are going to be wrapping up this daily in just a couple minutes. So before I get going, let's just take one more look at what we've got going here. Let's take a look at what we like and the things that we may want to change in the future here, right? So let's take a look here. We know for sure, let's go ahead and build one more layer on top here. And we're going to just go back through and just kind of measure our results, kind of take a quick look at what we like and what we maybe don't like. So one thing that I really like is this panel here, right? Love that one because it allows us to get some good FaceTime in. And this is right after Emma wakes up from the dream, so this is good to kind of establish what this character is now. Now that we realize that what was happening before was not reality. We want to get a good look at what this character is now, right? And then we have the establishing shot of the barn, right? With the light coming in. That's good. I like that too. This one is a little bit better than this one because I think it's more about the light and less about, what's beneath her. So these panels are basically the same. I like these. But I think this one's a little bit better because she's kind of like looking up. I like that little kind of, it's a subtlety, right? But I like the look of that a little bit more. Like she's looking up and saying something and then just kind of like fixing her dress. Then we move into the boots. And basically the only difference between here is like her hands are down here tying something. And these ones are pulling up. And I think that this is a much more interesting action. So I like that quite a bit. Now moving on, we only did one of these because this is a fairly standard scene. Maybe there's a way that we can add some excitement to this with the axe happening here. I think that's the big thing we want to figure out, like what is this panel here that's happening, or do we need to move these other ones around a little bit? Grabs the axe. Then these next pages is of her dropping it down, and we want this axe. I don't want to downplay the axe because the axe is a very, very integral part of her, and it's an iconic part of Emma. It's almost like her other half. So I want it to have its own life of its own without being Birdo from Mario World 2. So, I'm liking this so far. I actually really like this. This is, was that page 3? Yeah, looks like we got to page 3 today, so that's pretty good in terms of layout. So, what we will do tomorrow is I'll probably just kind of clean up these thumbnails, and we'll probably be moving into the preliminary layouts, right? The preliminary layouts for basically just cleaning up these thumbnails. And we will be doing that tomorrow. So, with all that out of the way, I think that will wrap up today's episode of the KNKL Daily. I don't even know what to call this. It should be like the KNKL Daily. Now that we finally have a daily show, should I call it that? Or should I just call it the Emma Stream? I should probably just call it the Emma Stream. The Emma Daily. I don't know. Give me some suggestions. I'll try to figure something out. But I'm going to be making a new YouTube video, or a new YouTube page for this. So I need to figure out what I'm going to call it. So anyway, yes, you can expect Emma wallpapers such as this one here to be coming out very soon. There will be plenty of goodies. There will be plenty of goodies for the people who watch the show and like to read the comic. And just to let you guys know, there are some good, we got some good ideas coming up for this comic. Some really, really cool, unique experiences that we want to have people reading this comic. It's not just going to be, I can't say too much, but it is going to be something more than a comic, right? It's going to be more than just a comic that you read. There's going to be a little bit of more interaction, I guess I could say, without giving away too much. So with that, I'm going to end the stream today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please, this is for the people who are going to be watching it on YouTube. Thumbs up if you like this. Thumbs down if you don't. I am Keenan Lafferty, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I'm just going to let the music run. I'm going to let the music run at the end here, so that way it doesn't cut off. Because some people get it cut off. So I'll just run the music for a couple minutes, and yes, I will see you guys tomorrow.
Between our lips, before our window fell, and raindrops fell, and raindrops fell, so